Big Z Reviews. Last Night in Soho is Edgar Wright's newest film, and it is a really interesting foray into kind of like horror adjacent drama, and I liked it, but definitely some of the horror stuff didn't quite hit.
And you are?
Sandy.
So this stars Thomasin McKenzie as Eloise, and she is a young psychic, essentially, that wants to be a fashion designer, and she's going to London to fashion school, and she decides to stay at this the cliques of in the dormitory like she can't deal with, so she wants to get an apartment off campus. She finds an apartment off campus, and while this apartment a lot of stuff may have happened there, because but she is really obsessed with the 1960s in London, and the music and the fashion of all that, and she's romanticized it, and but she when she starts sleeping in this room, she starts living the life of this beautiful Anya Taylor-Joy as Sandy, who is a singer back in the 1960s that was trying to make it big and trying to go into the club scene and become a singer, and she is so infatuated with this, she's using her as her muse essentially in her fashion, she's recreating some of the dresses she was wearing back then, and she wants to she's kind of avoiding her real life to want to live, to go to sleep each night and live the life of Anya Taylor-Joy in the 1960s. But she quickly realizes that it isn't as it is as nice as you would expect. There was it was 1960s were not a good time. If you're a woman in London, there's a lot of dangers you could face. And one main one that Matt Smith as Jack, who was their first maybe a love interest, and is kind of she's this handsome man that's gonna help her become a singer, maybe might become her pimp instead, and maybe there's a lot of shenanigans there, and all of this stuff, some of the direction, the art, and the camera work, and I'm not even sure how they did. I think they must have been she's Thomasin McKenzie is dancing with him, and then it's Anya Taylor-Joy. They mix it. I don't know if they filmed it twice and put it together, or if they're both on set and they're rotating out. But it's amazingly well done. These scenes, those scenes are so good, but that's what makes me it kind of Thomasin McKenzie. She has that sing-songy voice from the old actresses back in the day, and sometimes it's really cool, and sometimes it's kind of annoying. But I really like her. She's trying to turn herself into Anya Taylor-Joy. And then there's maybe a guy now, an old guy that almost recognizes her, and there's a lot of things that maybe that what she's seeing back then may affect her in the modern day. And there's a lot of cool stuff it does. I think where it kind of failed for me was when it tried to be a horror film. I really didn't find it scary at all, and that's fine. But she starts seeing in the modern day. She starts seeing all of these ghosts, but their faces are all kind of blurry and blurred together, and the CGI for these ghosts, it just looks stupid. I was kind of I was am I supposed to be scared of that? Some of the stuff they did with hands coming through the couch, I think is cool. It looks cool. But they keep seeing these guys with blurred faces, and the CGI for it, I think, failed for me. It just looks stupid, and it's and I think this is his first horror film. Shaun the Dead is more straight comedy, a little bit of horror, zombie horror, but this is his first kind of attempt at horror adjacent, and I don't know if he doesn't have that knack, I think, to hit that scare. They're not even really jump scares or anything. They're just I don't know if they tried to, but all of the guys and this when stuff's revealed, that's interesting, and I like stuff that they did with it. It is I didn't like. I think it's just the look of them, the look of the CGI of the ghosts kind of took me out of the film. but like so much of the stuff they do is great. And Thomasin McKenzie, I liked her, and Anya Taylor-Joy is great again. Like a lot of the stuff they did, I really liked. It's just some of it kind of missed the mark slightly. You know, it's an interesting film. It's like, I know I saw this in theaters. I'm not getting around to reviewing it till now, but I think it actually is now available on demand. So like, I think I would recommend it, but it's not perfect. It's not one of his best films, but it's interesting, and I did like it. And I'd probably give like a 7.5, 7.75 out of 10. I'd recommend it, but not super highly. Like it's Last Night in Soho is very interesting, and some scenes are gorgeous and really incredible, and other scenes are slightly goofy, and you know it's kind of it's slightly mixed bag. But I would recommend it. But thanks for watching. If you want to see more of me, you can subscribe down below. Thanks.